Hey, what's going on, everybody? This your girl, Ms. Marcy, and this is my review on Love and Hip Hop New York, Season 6, Episode 2, Secrets and Lies. Alright, so first scene starts out with DJ Self talking to that girl, and y'all forgive me, please forgive me. I'm still trying to learn these folks' name, but this girl was the first time they show her on this episode. She wasn't on the first episode, so I kind of missed her name or whatever, but she's real over the top ass chick. So he's sitting there talking with her. They going back and forth about whether or not he be lying about messing with people or whatnot. She says she's dating somebody. He's claiming he's not doing anything with anybody. So they going back and forth. Basically, they setting up the scene for what's gonna happen later, and I'll get into that. So DJ Self is going back and forth with her. And they're like, she's like, I don't care about, what you do. I just care about you lying and da 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 da. So they're going back and forth. Basically, they fuck around, but it's like one of those things where basically he's playing games and some of that. So anyway, moving on to the next scene. So you got BBOD, bad bitches on deck. Okay, whatever. They meet up with Ra Ali. Now this was after the incident that happened last week on the first episode where they got into it, where Mo got into it with the Bianca chick. Y'all, I finally got her name. Is Bianca. The chicken noodle soup girl is what I kept calling her last week. But anyway, so Ra Ali, Mo, and Lexi, they meet up or whatever to discuss what happened. So Ra is feeling some type of way, of course, because she didn't like the way the situation was handled on the last episode at the cipher that DJ Self the cipher that was sponsored by him or whatever, the cipher that he put together. Riley did not like she didn't like the way that Mo handled it, because she went over to Bianca and started a conversation with her, which led to the altercation, or no, not the altercation, but the argument back and forth or whatever. And so Rod's like, that wasn't cool. You picked the wrong time to go and say something to her. And Mo's like, well, when was I supposed to go talk to her? And so Rod just felt like while she feels like Lexi's cool, she's not too keen on Mo, because she feels like Mo doesn't listen and Mo just got a smart ass mouth. So they get into it, Mo and Rod, they get into it. And Mo's attitude is more like, bitch, I don't need you. You know what I'm saying? And Rod Ali is like, well, bitch, I don't need you. You work for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need y'all. So they go back and forth, and Lexi's just over it. She's like, everybody needs to just calm down. I understand. Lexi understands both sides, but she's like, everybody need to just take a breath and we need to just talk about this. But things kind of escalate a little bit, and Mo, which ends up with Mo walking out. Like, okay, forget this. I'm not gonna work for you anymore or whatever. And then Mo tried to low key down Rod as a manager too, saying that she don't really do much for them anyhow. So Rod's like, okay, well, fucking get a new manager. So anywho, Mo walks off, and Rod and Lexi's still sitting there talking. Mo turns around, she does an about face, come back in there and like, I mean, you still sitting here talking to her? I think you need to be leaving with me, because and the fact that you're sitting here still talking to her shows where your loyalties lie. And so Lexi ends up getting up and going with Mo. I mean, it was just pretty stupid. I think that Rod had a very good point. Mo shouldn't have went over to Bianca at the cipher, knowing it was gonna be some drama, So whatever. I understand. I wouldn't want to work with Mo either, because I wouldn't want to work with somebody that doesn't listen. Anyway, moving on. So they show Richie Dollars. Y'all know Richie was just on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, so he was out in LA. So he came back over here to New York, which he was on the first episode too. But anywho, so they show him, and they'll try to make it all dramatic and show him with another female. They try to make it look like it was another woman, but it was another woman that he was with, you know, uh, romantically, but it was his daughter. Okay, it was his daughter. So Rich's daughter's coming to spend some time with him, which is good. And I actually like the fact that they show Rich in this light, because we always see Rich Dollars, with women or whatever, going through some drama. But it was cool to see him in daddy mode. So he's sitting there talking with his daughter, and he's up talking with her about, boys and stuff, just basically getting involved in her life, in which I feel like a lot of parents should do. You know, um, just because your child is 16 or whatever, or at a certain age, does not mean that you stop getting involved. Some parents feel like, well, my child is grown, my child is this age, so I don't need to really get involved all like that. No, you still need to be involved in your child's life. Ask questions, see what's going on. And so that's basically what Rich was doing. He was having a father-daughter moment with his daughter, talking to her and stuff. And so he basically asked her, like, at first he was just asking her about boys and stuff, and she's like, oh, kind of just playing it down, playing it or whatever. And then he went in for the kill. He asked her was she still a virgin, and she told him no. And he was just feeling some type of way. He was like, oh my gosh. But he really knew that it wasn't too much he could do. But all he did was tell her, like, I just don't want you to end up with a man like me. I want you to be careful. I want you to come and talk to me. Now that you have, had an experience with sex, I really want us to maintain communication and everything. And which I think that was good. And I also find it interesting that a lot of men who sit out here and they dog women and they do crazy stuff, they turn around, they have daughters, but oh no, they be damned if a man treat their daughter like how they treat women. But see, that's karma for your ass. That's why you need to be careful how you treat people. Men, okay? So anywho, so he asked the conversation with his daughter, and which, like I said, I think was a good thing. And so, they hugged it out. He told her he loved her and everything. They hugged it out, and that was that. Alright, moving on. So Yandy meets up with Bianca. She asks Bianca about what happened. So Bianca tells her version of the story. And basically Yandy's like, listen, I don't have time for the drama. I don't have time to deal with something that's gonna interfere with my money. So it really wasn't a whole lot said between Yandy and Bianca, but yet basically Yandy let Bianca know, like, look, I'm not on this shit right here. I mean, I mean, I don't have a problem managing you, but you turned me off with that bullshit. So, that was that. So anyway, so moving on, Remy and um Remy and Ra Ali meets up. You know, so they meet up, and Remy tells Ra about her and Papoose' decision to go ahead and have babies and have another wedding. I know, have a real wedding. Let me just put it like that. And you know, uh, Ra decides that Ra accepts the invitation. No, I'm sorry. Remy, while she was telling Ra about the wedding and everything and all the plans and everything, she told Ra that she wants Ra to actually help plan it. And so Ra agrees, like, okay, yeah, cool, so that's that. So they're both excited about that or whatnot. So moving on, Amina meets with Tara. Okay, so Amina's out working out or whatever. No, Tara's out working out, and Amina comes over to her where she's working out at. They got to plan stuff, they got to stage stuff or whatever. So it's just Amina pops up where Tara's working out. She's outside working out or doing something, and Amina comes over there. So Amina asks Tara about Peter, like, have you seen Peter? Has he been over to your house? Is he still sleeping? Where does he sleep, basically? And Tara's kind of playing her off, like, why don't you ask him? Let me say this. One thing I don't like is when another woman comes to another woman and asks her about a man. And she asked her something like, are you sleeping together? What's going on between you? And the woman that's being asked the question tends to say, ask him. Why are you asking me? My thing is this, bitch, I'm asking you because obviously we dealing with a lying ass motherfucker here, and I want to ask you because maybe I've already asked him and I know he's not gonna tell me the truth, so I'm trying to get it from you. Or maybe he told me his version and I want to hear your version. I for some reason I just don't like it when a woman does that to another woman, because I feel like she's only doing that because she's trying to protect him in some type of way. She know the nigga wrong, she know he foul, but she wants to not really just say what's going on. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I kind of have an issue with that. So anyway, I didn't mean to go into a little rant there. But so anyway, so she's asking her, what's up with you and him? And Tara's basically playing it down, but really deep down, Tara's like, okay, this nigga's some bullshit. Because Tara didn't know that Amina, well, so she say, she didn't know that Amina and Peter was still together or whatever, because Peter had been playing their relationship down to her, which, I mean, hello, yeah, why would you not think that that's what he's doing? He got both y'all bitches living in the same building. I mean, come on, you think he gonna really tell you what's going down with him and Amina? His wife. He wants to downplay it so he can keep getting the goodies from your dumb ass. So anywho, I mean, that's what they do. That's what married men do. They play shit down and make it look like they're just in a bad situation so they can get what they want from you. Hello? Anybody home? Knock, knock. So, anyway, all right, so after that little meeting or whatever, let me say this too, because at the end of that meeting, Tara asks Amina, why would you still be with a man who you think still love another woman or still got feelings for another woman? Because before Amina walked away, she was like, yeah, he still loves you or whatever. She was trying to be funny, but, so Tara's like, why would you still be with a man that loves another woman? And Amina's response was, because I don't give up. What? You don't give up? No, bitch, because you're stupid. That's more like it. Anywho, moving on. So DJ Self is sitting at the house and he's dealing with what's her name? Yorna, what the hell? Yorny or something like that, or whatever. Yorny, yeah, Yorma. I'm sorry, her name was Yorma. So DJ Self is sitting at the house, and they show Yorma come downstairs. Now DJ Self is messing. Well, Cardi B, that was her name. I didn't remember her name earlier, but in the first scene, it was DJ Self going back and forth with Cardi B. Cardi B, okay, little over the top ass chick. So anyway, so he's sitting there. He's basically, just thinking about how he's dealing with both of them, but he's not gonna basically tell Yorma. Yorma comes downstairs and she's like, she has this earring in her hand, and she's like, who's else, or ring or whatever. She's like, who's been in the shower? Who else been taking a shower here other than me? So he's bullshitting, talking about it's the housekeepers, and she starts getting emotional. She starts crying and stuff because she know he's full of shit. And I mean, basically, it's another Stevie J and Mimi situation all over again. In a sense, that's who came to mind when I saw this scene. He's Stevie J, she's Mimi, and Cardi B is Jocelyn Hernandez. Okay, so it's some of that going on. This little stupid ass triangle. Okay, so Yorma starts getting all emotional and she's crying and shit and she's going off and he's laughing. Okay, this fool was steady laughing. Okay, if I was her, I would just walked out. I wouldn't have gave him the energy. Since you think it's funny, I'm gonna get the last laugh, fool. I would have just walked out and would have just fucking ignored his ass. That's how you get under somebody like that skin. He think it's so funny. You know what I'm saying? So he's like full of shit because he's like basically saying, okay, I know I do mess with Cardi B. This is what he's telling himself. This is what he says in his confessionals. Yeah, I still dipping in dad with your Cardi B, but I'm not ready to confess that right now. Oh gosh, he's like bad as Peter Gunn's dumbass. Ugh, Oh gosh. Anyway, so, moving on, we got Papoose in the studio, okay? Papoose in the studio. Remy Ma comes into the studio. They sit down and have a talk. I just love the way he loves her. I just got to put that out there. That man loves that woman, okay? So, anywho, Remy Ma comes in there and she tells Papoose She tells Papoose that she went ahead and asked Ra Ali to basically help plan with their wedding. And he kind of looks down, basically looks down like, oh gosh, like he don't want this bitch involved. So Remy's like, well, why you make that stupid ass face? Why you make that stupid ass look? He's like, listen, in a nutshell, this is what he tell her. I really don't want you fucking with Ra Ali. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he got a good vibe about her for whatever reason. He doesn't want her around her really. He just wants Remy to keep things within the family because of the situation that happened with her years ago. The reason why she ended up doing the 6 years or whatever is because she got into a situation, an altercation with another person, another female, and which resulted in her shooting that person in the stomach. And he was saying that basically that situation came about because you was around some people who brought around some other people that really wasn't too cool, and so it resulted in an altercation that resulted in you being locked up for 6 years. Papoose is doing everything in his power to keep his woman from behind bars because he knows that because she's already been there, she got that record, and she's probably on probation or parole or whatever, and it's so easy to go back in once you've been in for that long. It's easy for her to just slip up, and all it would take is for her to be around the wrong crowd, and Pap is not having that, and I so respect him for that. I really love the way he loved her. So anywho, so also in that same conversation, Papoose brings up the fact that Remy Ma and his daughter DJ, their relationship has not been the same because his daughter just turned 18, and their relationship has not been the same. And I like the fact that Papoose is really trying to keep Remy on a straight and narrow. I mean, I just really love it. And he's trying to he's trying to basically keep her on track and keep her focused on what really matters instead of any of this bullshit out here. So he tells her, I noticed you and DJ's relationship ain't been the same. And she's like, well, ever since DJ turned 18, she doesn't really listen. So he's like, well, look, we're going to have a sit down. And then she was saying that her son, don't he act like he got an attitude that she's not really feeling. So he's like, okay, we're going to sit down and have a meeting with both of them. We're going to talk to both of them. And I like how when it comes to both of their kids, because his daughter is his daughter from a previous relationship, her son is one from a previous relationship, and I like the way they're blended. It's not about, well, this is my daughter and you need to be talking to her, you need to, no, it's more like these are our children. I love it. Like, I freaking love it. So anywho, so after that scene, Rich Dollars meets up with his daughter's mother. Her name is Miracle. He reach he reaches out. He meets up with Miracle and tells her about Ashley. But while he meet up with her to tell her about Ashley, she also tells him that she's got a agenda where she wants to go travel the world and spread the gossip. I said gossip. I'm sorry, the gospel. And she wants him to keep their daughter for 2 years. He wants him to keep their daughter. She wants him to keep their daughter basically till she turns 18. And he agrees, like, okay, cool. But at the same time, in the same conversation, he also tells her, like, look, I talked to Ashley about boys, and basically I asked her was she a virgin, and she told me no, because when he asked Ashley about being a virgin, he asked her if her mom knew, and she said no. So he wanted to be the one to tell her. So he told her, and she's like, oh my gosh, like, what? But she's still gonna go out of town, and Ashley's still gonna stay with Rich. So whatever. Anyway, so then Pap and Remy, they have a meeting with the kids like they said they were gonna do, and they just talk to them. And like I said, I like the way I like that. I like the whole communication thing Pap is on. I think Pap is really like oh man, he's like a good dude, man. He's a good ass dude. I hope they stay married. I really, really, really wish them well, like, because they deserve the happiness. They done been through 6 years without Remy being there, and it's cool. So anyway, I don't really need to get into the conversation that they have with their kids, because I mean, it was just real. It was kind of like, just kind of, it was simple. It was like they said, they brought up the things that they talked about when it was just her and Pap, so they brought it to the kids or whatever. And they also asked the kids to be a part of the wedding, so that was cool. Now, the final scene, okay, Tara arranges a meeting with Amina and Peter, okay, which needed to happen. So, but before the meeting, Tara tells Peter gets there first, and Tara tells Peter, like, look, I ran into Amina. She's asking me about you, and I feel like, why she asking me about you if y'all not even together? So you say y'all not together. So he's like, well, basically dumbing the shit down, watering it down, talking about, okay, now, me and Mina, we not like that. I mean, we may be living together, but we ain't like that. And she's like, well, does she know that? He like, well, I mean, she knows, but she don't know. Basically on some fake ass shit, some back and forth bullshit that some men be on. So, Tara lets him know, like, well, look, Amina's coming down here. I told her to come down here. So, knock, knock, knock. Here comes Amina at the door. So she comes in, and they all get to talking, honey. So, basically everything come out. Now, when Amina got down there, it was hard for him to say they wasn't together, but he had to go ahead and say, like, yeah, we are together. And Tara's like, well, hell, that's not what you just said a few minutes ago. And, Tara was just putting it out there that Peter had been saying that Tara was just a mistake that went too far. And, I mean, it was just a mess. It was just really kind of crazy. But I was glad that both women basically confronted him because, like Tara said, they both were just looking for the truth from him. And there's no sense in them going back and forth and being at each other's throat. But what I didn't like was, during the conversation, I didn't like how Amina twisted it and tried to put it back on Tara. Like, you keep messing with him, and for you to say that you moved on, why are you still arguing with him back and forth? That clearly shows that you still want him. And Tara's like, basically Tara's defense was she didn't know that they was together because of the things that Peter had been telling her, and she was just didn't want to be caught up in no mess. But I feel like it's still some bullshit. Because I feel like now on Amina's part, bitch, how did you not know he wasn't fucking with Tara? If he ain't coming home, this bitch still live in the same building. Why? I mean, why both y'all agree to live in the same damn building anyway with each other? Like, come on, stupid asses. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, both them hoes was stupid as hell. I understand they both have children with him. I understand that Amina is married to him, but it's like, oh gosh, y'all, come on now, whatever. So he did admit to Amina. Mina was like, "Well, why are you with me? Why did you marry me?" He said, "Because I fell in love with you. You had the baby and all that good stuff." Tara's like, "Oh, okay. Well, that's the first time you admitted that shit." Yeah, because Amina's right there in his damn face. He wasn't going to admit it to you when it's just you and him, because he got to manipulate you. So, basically, it ended with, after they was going back and forth, they got everything out. He basically confessed to both of them, and Amina went off. Amina went the hell off and slapped the shit out of his ass. Now I don't know if that was a fake slap or a real slap, because y'all know this reality shit. At the end of the day, it really is not. It really ain't reality. She slapped the shit out of him, which he deserved it. I was so happy she slapped his ass, and then she threw a phone at him. Shit, Tara was just sitting there like, Tara didn't flinch, because honey, she knew Amina wasn't gonna try to get bad and take it out on her and try to come hit her. She just stood there like, oh, okay. Okay, she gonna slap him. Oh, okay. So, Tara, it was a big. She tried to make a big dramatic scene. She threw the phone at him. After she slapped him, she walked out. She after she slapped him, she threw the phone at him, and then she walked out and said, "Oh, and by the way, I'm pregnant." Okay. Oh gosh. So she walks out, and that was pretty much the end of that scene. That was the last and final scene. Now they showed a preview of the next episode, and it's gonna show Tara and Amina getting into it. And I'm thinking like, okay, and why the hell they about to get into it again? I mean, damn, why they keep trying to get into it? So, but we'll see. But all right, that was it, you guys. And I think I got everything. I don't think I left anything out. And yeah, so tell me what y'all think. Leave your comments or leave anything that I might have skipped or whatever. And yeah, that's it. So, all right, y'all. Till next time. Peace.